2 days. That's all that's left before Donald Trump throws what he's called the biggest birthday party any country has ever seen, America's 250th. And by most accounts coming out of Washington this week, it's already in trouble. Not because nobody cares about the anniversary, people do. The problem is what's actually happening on the ground at the celebration Trump built to headline it. So today, here's exactly what's confirmed, what's disputed, and what to watch for this Saturday. Back in the spring, the administration announced a 16-day event on the National Mall called the Great American State Fair, run through a public-private partnership called Freedom 250. It's separate from the official congressional America 250 celebrations, but it's the event most closely tied to Trump personally. According to the event's own page, the goal is to unite and showcase all 56 U.S. states and territories in a single World's Fair-scale event. But according to CNN's reporting from July 1st, inside Trump's own White House there is, quote, growing angst over how many people will actually show up. That's CNN citing people inside the building, not an outside critic. Almost as soon as the fair opened on June 25th, photos and videos started circulating showing long stretches of empty pavement. Snopes ran a fact-check on one of the viral images and confirmed it was real, an accurate photo of sparse crowds on the National Mall. Their one caveat, it was shot on a weekday, so it may not reflect the entire 16-day run. Worth mentioning if you want the accurate picture instead of just piling on. Newsweek reports that multiple images and videos showing sparse attendance have circulated widely and been viewed millions of times. And it's not just one outlet. The Washington Post called opening day bumpy. The Atlantic questioned whether the fair lived up to its own branding. AP News covered the gap between the event's unity message and the politics surrounding it. Bloomberg's angle, published just hours before this video, may be the most interesting explanation yet, that the event's design, built for dramatic photography and heavy security, may have come at the cost of actual accessibility for regular visitors trying to get in and move around. That's 6 major outlets: CNN, The Washington Post, The Atlantic, AP, Newsweek, and Bloomberg, independently covering the same basic story. A headline event with a lot riding on it that isn't drawing the crowds it was built for. Now, to be fair, and this part matters if you actually want the full story instead of just one side of it, organizers are pushing back hard. According to the Daily Beast, a Freedom 250 spokesperson claims that over 150,000 people have attended the fair so far. That's their official number, and it's worth stating exactly as they said it, because you deserve to hear both sides before deciding what to believe. At the same time, that same report cites unnamed insiders claiming Trump was personally frustrated by the low turnout he saw at his own opening remarks. A very different picture from the official 150,000 figure. That gap between what organizers are claiming publicly and what reporters are describing privately is really the core of this story. It's not that nobody showed up, it's that there's a real dispute over how many people actually did, and the visual evidence circulating online has been working against the official narrative. On top of the crowd questions, there's the entertainment lineup. NBC News reported back in May that several artists had already dropped out of scheduled performances, to the point that Trump himself reportedly floated canceling the music segment altogether. When a headline entertainment lineup starts falling apart weeks before an event even opens, that's usually a red flag for how the rest of the planning is going. All of that brings us to the actual headline event, the Salute to America celebration, set to kick off Saturday evening on the National Mall, with military flyovers, musical performances, and a speech from the president himself. 2 things are working against it. First, the weather. The National Weather Service is forecasting triple-digit temperatures in Washington for much of the day, with the heat index pushing even higher. That's a serious problem for an outdoor event that depends on people standing around for hours. Second, according to the New Republic, citing sources who spoke to CNN, White House staff are reportedly worried about a no-show problem. People who reserve tickets for Saturday but don't actually show up once they see the heat forecast and the security lines. One official told CNN that empty seats during a nationally televised speech on the 250th anniversary of the country would be a bad look no matter how you spin it. There's also the security setup itself. Because the president is the centerpiece of the event, the mall has reportedly been designated a national special security event, meaning TSA-style screening, limited entry points, and a fairly long list of prohibited items. No backpacks, no coolers, no outside food or water bottles, though those can reportedly be purchased inside. Combine that with a forecasted heat index well past 100 degrees, and you can start to see why insiders are nervous about turnout on Saturday, even separate from whatever happened at the fair over the past week. Here's the bigger picture. Whether you think this is a legitimate story about event planning and execution, or you think it's being overhyped by outlets that don't love this administration, the basic facts aren't really in dispute. There is documented photo and video evidence of sparse crowds at points during the fair. There is a real gap between the organizers' attendance claims and what reporters on the ground are describing. And there are genuine weather and security concerns heading into Saturday's main event. What happens Saturday will probably settle a lot of this argument one way or another. If the National Mall is packed for the president's speech despite the heat, that undercuts a lot of this week's coverage. If it isn't, expect this story to get a lot louder heading into the weekend. That's where things stand 2 days out. We'll be watching Saturday's event closely, and we'll have a follow-up once we see how the actual turnout compares to both the organizers' claims and this week's reporting. If you want to see how this plays out, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We'll have the follow-up as soon as the numbers are in. Drop your take in the comments. Do you think Saturday turns this around? Or does the pattern from the fair repeat itself? Let us know below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.